about honesty. And the first honest thing that I'm going to say is tracking what we eat is hard. I don't know anyone who thinks that tracking their food is easy. Nobody says, "Oh, I'm so excited to track my food today." It can feel overwhelming. It takes planning, it takes consistency, and most of all, it takes honesty. And that's the part that I think we truly wrestle with is the honesty. And we might say, I don't have time to track. It feels like too much work. I can't stay consistent. I don't want to do this forever. But when you peel back the layers, I don't think the real issue is time or effort. I think the deeper issue is that we don't want to face the truth. We don't want to see it written in black and white, especially the things that we eat in secret. But here's what I've noticed, not just in others, but in myself. If I eat something that feels off plan, I don't want to write it down. Somehow, my critter brain says if you don't track it, then it doesn't actually count. But the honest truth is, it does count. Every single bite matters. Whether I log it or not, my body still processes it. And pretending that it didn't happen doesn't change reality. And I found a verse in Luke 12:2 and 3. And the New Living Translation says, "The time is coming when everything that is covered up will be revealed, and all that is secret will be made known to all. Whatever you have said in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you have whispered behind closed doors will be shouted from the housetops for all to hear." And the Message translation says, "You can't keep your true self hidden forever. Before long, you'll be exposed. You can't hide behind a mask forever. Sooner or later, the mask will slip and your true face will be known." And that's the reality with our food choices. The things that we try to keep hidden, whether from our others or from ourselves, eventually shows up in our results. It shows up in the scale, the way our clothes fit, and the way our body feels. They end up shouting from the rooftop the truth that we thought we could keep secret. I have been tracking every bite of food that I have eaten for the past 2 months. And I'm going to be honest, some days it has been really hard. There have been nights when I've thought, yeah, it's the end of the day. I'm just going to skip logging this one thing. But I pushed myself and promised myself to be consistent. And here's what I've learned: when the scale goes up, I can often trace it back to maybe some high sodium meals. I've discovered that my maintenance calories, the calories that will keep me at the same weight, are around 2,200. But my best progress happens in the 1,500 to 1,700 range. That works for me. So then I'm able to see patterns, and that helps me move forward. And it helps me see the places where I've been stuck. And my weight loss over those 2 months has been around 5 pounds. It's been slow and steady, but tracking has given me something even more valuable. It's given me understanding. Without tracking, I would have been frustrated, confused, and tempted to quit because the scales weren't moving the way I wanted them to. Some at the beginning, the scales fluctuated in this 3 pound range. And then the second half of tracking, the scales have now been fluctuating in a lower 3 pound range. So I've lost about 5 pounds. And like I said, where before I would have been frustrated, confused, and tempted to quit, with tracking, I'm able to go, oh, yeah, here's what I ate. This is why the scale is up today. Here's what's working for me right now. So tracking gives me clarity. Let me give you a picture that's going to help this sink in. Imagine your bank account. You're swiping your debit card at the store, you buy lunch, you pay for gas, you order something online, but you never check your account balance. Uh-oh. You never record your spending. You just hope that there's enough in your account to cover it all. And at first, it feels fine. Nothing bad happens until one day you go to swipe your card and there's not enough money in your account. The bank balance reveals the truth that you've been ignoring. And that's exactly what happens with our food. Whether we track it or not, the withdrawals still count. The calories, the sodium, the sugar, they're being deposited into our body's account. If we're not tracking, we're flying blind. And then one day we step on the scale or we go to the doctor and the truth shows up, not just in the scale, but in our health as well. Or you go to buy a new outfit and you take the clothes in the dressing room and realize, oh, this size no longer fits. It's too small for me. So just like the checkbook doesn't lie, neither does our food journal. The numbers don't judge us. They just tell us the truth. And when you know the truth, you can make changes before things get out of hand. So here's the 3 biggest struggles that I've noticed with tracking. First off, it feels overwhelming. Thinking about tracking every meal for the rest of your life, of course it's overwhelming. But what if you didn't think of it as forever? What if you just committed to do it for the next 20 pounds or even the next month? Small commitments are what make the process manageable. The other thing we say is, I don't have time. Okay, so here's another thing we need to be honest about. Tracking maybe takes 10 minutes a day. That's less than the time we spend scrolling on our phones. The issue isn't time, it's priority. And if your health matters to you, then you're going to find 10 minutes a day. And it doesn't even have to be all at the end of the day. For me, what works better is to track it at each meal or each time I eat something, because otherwise, at the end of the day, I might forget what I ate. So it takes 10 minutes in total, but not 10 minutes all at once. And the third thing is, I don't want to see the truth. This is the hardest one. Facing our habits can feel uncomfortable, but avoiding the truth isn't changing it. In fact, the only way forward is through honesty. Honesty is not meant to shame you. Honesty is meant to set you free. There is freedom in being honest with yourself. If you're honest with yourself, there's no more shame to bear. So the solution is honesty and consistency. Tracking is not about punishing yourself for being overweight. And it's not about being perfect. It's about running an experiment on your own body, learning what works for you. And honesty matters. Every bite, every drink, every snack. If you leave something off, you're only cheating yourself. And consistency matters too. Tracking for 3 days isn't going to show you the whole picture. But tracking for 3 weeks or 3 months, that's going to reveal patterns that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. And you don't have to do this forever. It's a season of learning. Once you've gathered enough data and built awareness, then you can reevaluate and decide how much you want or need to keep tracking. So at the end of the day, it does come down to this one simple question. How important is this goal to you? Is it absolutely essential that you must reach this goal? Is it something that you'd like to reach, but it's not a top priority? Or is it really just not important right now? Be honest with yourself. If it's not a priority, that's okay, but own that truth. And if it is a priority, then get honest with yourself and be consistent, because tracking is the tool that's going to help you get there. So the takeaways: honesty is the best policy. Every bite counts, whether you track it or not. Consistency builds clarity. Tracking over time is going to reveal patterns that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. And it's not forever. Think of tracking as a short-term experience not a lifelong punishment. So I'm going to leave you with two questions today. The first one is, where might you be hiding parts of your eating story because of shame? And what would it feel like to track with honesty as an act of self expression and authenticity? And the second question, what patterns or insights could you uncover about yourself if you tracked consistently, not as judgment, but as data for your growth and clarity?